Well, now I can't get rid of my goddamn spade, Bo. Oh my god.
I got too many spades, Bo. I got an A spade. I got a spade.
Bo, you are starting to piss me off.
Who is Bo?
God damn it, Bo. I just won the goddamn game, Bo.
Earthbound podcast.
Dang. I feel like it shouldn't
That's the
be hard
intro.
to intro.
That's the
but I
intro.
feel
That's
like
the
I've
intro.
been-
Dang.
Yeah.
Dang.
Hey, guys.
Hello, and welcome back to the Earthbound podcast, episode 55, if I'm not mistaken.
Are you mistaken?
I don't know.
I think you might be right.
No, you're right.
Okay, cool.
Did you check too?
Yeah, that was the pause I gave. Was me like literally opening up YouTube and like looking through my notifications, being like, "Oh."
Hey guys, I'm Todd Ray. This is Bo.
You're Todd Ray.
God damn it, Bo.
Bo, God damn it,
Bo,
Bo.
you forgot you forgot the goddamn number again, Bo.
Bo, you forgot the intro for the goddamn podcast, Bo.
You forgot the whole script,
Sorry,
Bo.
fellas.
Gosh darn it, Bo, you forgot the whole damn thing. They're not going to explain that bit at all. This bit makes no sense.
People aren't gonna know what that means until like potentially months from now, and there's not even the chance that you include it.
No, that's fine. That's great.
God damn it,
That's
Bo.
perfect.
God damn it, Bo.
Dude, okay. Yeah, so we're making our dude. Sorry, I freaked out because I just realized this is basically the July 4th episode.
It is.
Because it's the 2nd today, and next time it'll be the 9th. So right now we're closest to the 4th. So
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
That's true.
it's crazy. So I guess for our first,
What do you guys?
what? Oh wait, what?
What do you guys normally do for the 4th of July?
I'm not gonna lie, I was actually gonna ask you about that. What are you gonna do for the 4th of July? I usually don't do anything actually, because my family doesn't really go anywhere for 4th of July. We're not really. I guess we're just terrorists like that.
Yeah, honestly, same. I don't really. The only thing I really do.
Same to which part?
Yeah, same. So you know which part I'm saying same too.
Oh, you know.
No, yeah, my family doesn't really do much in terms of 4th of July. Occasionally, we'll make like burgers or something, or something fun like that. But most of the time, it's us looking after my dog because she is deathly afraid of fireworks.
A fade.
Fade. Yeah, my dog has a fade.
Yo, it's crazy, yo. What? Wait, how would that even be possible? Actually, how would? Is your dog bald?
Yeah. She's one of those like special dogs that doesn't have any fur except for on the top of her head because she has a
Dude,
fade
that's
up
awesome.
there.
I should do that to Apollo. Oh man.
For me, the 4th is honestly kind of same. We don't typically do too much. It used to just be like my dad would grill like some burgers and hot dogs and stuff, and like we would play around with little sparklers.
Yeah.
And we kind of still do that, and sometimes we'll
Yeah.
usually someone will launch a few fireworks, so we might go out and watch them. But not typically too much.
That makes sense,
Yeah,
man.
I feel it.
Yeah, no, man. I don't ever do nothing special for the goddamn 4th, but except I guess I celebrate just through the fact that I can always hear my neighbors celebrating. I can see their fireworks, so I'm basically part of it. If I can see the fireworks and I can hear them, I'm basically celebrating. That's basically my fireworks.
Don't your neighbors
That's
just
fair.
normally just randomly set off fireworks sometimes?
They did it
Well, it's
for
weird because
Catfish Day.
sometimes I can't tell if it's fireworks or if it's gunshots, but they were doing fireworks recently.
Oh.
You're correct. Yeah, sometimes it is gunshots because this is kind of a dangerous place to live in. There's a lot of guns out here, but I don't know, man. It's yeah, I don't know. The thing is with the fireworks around the 4th of July is that like they're so patriotic. Is that like the fireworks last for like 5 days. Like they just have a festival going on in like their backyard of just they're constantly launching off fireworks. I think they just buy too many because they're like dumb and from the Midwest, so they like have to run through them all because they counted wrong, and they don't stop until they've used up all of their fireworks. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that because I think I've talked about it before. My town does like this thing where they do. I think it's part of like. It's normally around 4th of July where they'll just like set off fireworks for the town, and they'll like have this whole program thing, but like sometimes not all. Like they'll either they'll get too many, or it's like sometimes that like when they're shooting off the fireworks show, like some of them don't shoot off, and so because like safety reasons they have to shoot them off just in case like while they're transporting them back one of them just randomly goes off in like a giant storage container.
Yeah, that makes sense. So yeah, I don't know, man. I guess the 4th of July doesn't make a. It doesn't mean a lot to me personally. I guess it hasn't had a lot of impact on my. Wait, guys, do you hear that? Do you see that in the distance?
What is that?
What is it?
It's that awesome picture of an eagle grabbing the baseball again.
Whoa!
Yo!
He's back! He
Our
finally
sponsor,
grabbed the
ladies and
baseball!
gentlemen. I want to announce our sponsor has returned. And
Our returning sponsor, Eagle with a baseball.
yeah.
Dude, I just want to say I've always been a big fan of Eagle grabbing the baseball.
Do you like baseball?
No, but Eagle grabbing the baseball, that's top tier right there.
Do you like Mario Baseball?
Yes.
Oh yeah, I played that. I played that a lot as a kid.
A lot, like how much?
It was ironically enough, when we used to have family over a lot when I was younger. Not anymore because as people got older, they spread out over the country.
How they abandoned you?
Yeah, well, it's more so just over the East Coast now.
They abandoned you.
But we used to have family over a lot, and that was one of the games I played like a lot with my cousin. And my cousin but my cousin at the age, I think he was like, I want to say he was like 20 something when I was like 12.
Oh,
and I
so
kept on beating him.
You?
No, I kept on beating him somehow.
Oh, he probably let you beat him because he's being a nice adult.
He might have. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. He might have been letting
I don't know
me
what kind
win,
of person he is, but yeah.
He's a detective now.
He's a cop.
Yeah.
Man. All right, I guess. I know. I think Mario Baseball is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty neat.
Dude, yeah. King K. Rool is broken in that game.
King K. Rool's in Mario Baseball?
Yeah, well, he's
they had a
Which
lot
one?
of characters.
Not the one.
I think it's the second one.
It wasn't on the one for the GameCube, so he's not real.
Well, that was the one I played. So
the one for the GameCube, he wasn't in the one for the GameCube, so he's not real.
I did play Super Sluggers as a kid, though.
Speaking of K. Rool,
yeah,
Josh, what are your opinions on the Donkey Kong Direct? We talked about it last week, but we were like, "Oh, we want to."
You're the gaming guy. You know the video games.
Yeah,
very
you're
well.
the Donkey Kong guy.
Really?
I know Donkey Kong in particular. I just know that you like video games a lot, and you know more about video games than we do.
No, don't you know his like profile picture on the Earthbound podcast has been Donkey Kong?
Oh yeah, you've always been the I almost call you the dinosaur guy. You're not the dinosaur guy. We have a different dinosaur guy, but you've always been the Donkey Kong guy.
Well, I like Fossil Fighters. That's about the closest I've
No, you don't. You like Donkey Kong.
Yeah, yeah.
I feel
You always
okay
talk about
it.
how much you love Donkey Kong.
You wish you
I
were
have-
Donkey Kong.
I have pretty neutral feelings about the Donkey Kong series as a whole. Like, I think it's pretty cool. I'm chill with it. Let's see. The direct, I was definite. It's like the whole like Kid Pauline thing coming out of The Rock was like, I knew they would. I knew it was going to be a situation like they did with the Mario Odyssey Direct, where there was some piece of what was going on that they like weren't showing off, and then it was going to be a big deal.
How did you know?
And it's just a Nintendo thing to kind of
Oh,
like,
it's just a Nintendo thing? Only Nintendo has ever done that?
well, not just them, but it's a thing that they like.
I'm just gonna keep challenging everything you say for no reason.
That's fair. I like
So you
that.
think only Nintendo can make surprises now?
No. So, anyways,
How do you explain your birthday surprise then?
well, you know what? You got me.
I don't know if
You
you had
know.
any birthday surprises this year.
Kind of,
But,
kind of. But no,
Yeah,
Donkey
wait,
Kong,
you didn't get your birthday surprise? It came in the
Yeah.
mail.
your birthday surprise? Was there a clown at your birthday?
There was not. No.
Why are there never clowns at birthdays? Sorry, I got really mad for a sec. Why are there never clowns at birthdays anymore?
Why are there?
I feel like you never see clowns at birthdays anymore, guys. You ever think about
You
it?
talked
still
about
want-
this last week.
You
I
still
talked
want me to
about
talk about Donkey
I said this
Kong?
in DMs.
Did you?
I DM'd it to you. We literally, I remember the DMs exactly. We talked about how
Do
they
you-
just because you asked me if I remember this very well, and I don't know why, but you asked me if I could like create any like spell as a wizard, what spell would it be? And I was like, I would do something that makes like helium, because we're running out of helium in the world, and that's like kind of a big deal, you know? It's like actually becoming a problem. And so we're not going to have like birthday balloons anymore, and they're going to get rid of those the same way they got rid of clowns at birthdays, because I feel like you don't see clowns at birthdays anymore. Guys, speaking of wizards, actually, so back in the
Wait, but
7th...
what about games?
Do you still want me to
Alright.
talk about Donkey Kong?
Okay, talk about Donkey Kong. You're the Donkey Kong guy, so you'd know.
Okay. Donkey Kong. Yeah, the direct was mostly fine. The game looks really cool.
Mostly fine, so you have problems with it.
Not really that I have problems with it. It's just that
You
like,
think it's going to be a bad game?
Nintendo's having like some strong hitters. Obviously, you have their big new 3D platformer. You have Mario Kart out the gate, but the whole situation, all of the situation, like the Switch 2 regarding just like the price and
The
everything, I don't
Nintendo
really know
situation
why.
is insane, guys.
Yeah, it is. I don't know. Something about this launch and just everything Nintendo related around this point, I've just
It's
been
fucking
a
stupid
lot less
and
hyped.
garbage.
Not that, but I've just been less
No, I think
hyped
it is
about
that.
it than
I just think they
usually
don't. I
am
think
for
that
this
they
kind
don't
of
know what they're
stuff.
doing. I think ever since they got rid of Reggie Fils-Aimé, is that his name? It's like some dumb
Yeah.
French name or whatever. He basically ever since they got rid of him, the company got run to the ground. And actually, no, he probably left in like 2018, didn't he?
He left a while ago, yeah.
Yeah.
I
Okay,
don't
so
think that soon, but
Well, all I'm
sometime.
saying is that it's probably because they fired him is why they can't get good things anymore. Is all I'm saying.
I don't know. The direct was kind of cool. The like power up abilities that they showed were pretty neat. The weirdest thing about it is the whole Kid Pauline thing, because I don't know what that means for like
Well,
the continuity of the series mess, but it doesn't matter too much. Overall, the game looks really fun. I just probably won't play it for a while because I'm not gonna have a Switch 2 for a while. But it looks cool. I'm excited.
I never intend to buy a Switch 2 because I will not back down from my beliefs as a human being.
That is fair. I'm probably not.
My
gonna
beliefs
buy
are
one
that
just
they
for a
should give
while.
me free shit because I want it.
Because I want it.
I want free.
I want to
things,
play it, but I
so
don't want to pay for it.
I don't want to pay, so they should give it to me. Is basically what I'm saying.
Do you think at one point like you're on your last leg of life, and it's like you're in your hospital bed dying, and then just a guy in a suit walks in with a red tie that has like the Nintendo logo on it, and I just go, we finally caved. You win. You get the Nintendo Switch 2, even though we've
Nintendo's not
made
going to be
5
around
new
when I
consoles.
die. Nintendo's probably going to be... They're probably already going into the red, because no one's buying their stupid consoles anymore.
I don't think that's true.
Everyone's
It's
playing,
not.
like...
They had
Everyone's playing
the
Death
most
Stranding Part
successful
2 now.
console launch of all time.
Everyone's playing Death Stranding. That's why everyone...
Death Stranding!
Didn't Death Stranding 2 just come out, like, a couple days ago?
Oh, I
Did it?
couldn't tell you. I didn't know. I didn't. I thought you were. I was just like, where did you pull Death Stranding from?
I thought it
haven't
came
heard
out
anything about
on, like,
that
the
in
PS5.
I've heard
years,
there
bro.
was gonna be I've heard there was gonna be a second game. I didn't know it already came out.
Well, that's all I'm saying. Guys, I want to talk about the wizard situation.
Oh, okay.
So, I want to know... for a bit of backstory, right? Something that I heard recently is that sometimes I like to watch videos and like read stuff about like the old like D&D communities and it's like its origins, like, you know, first few editions of D&D. And apparently in the 70s, there were some controversies, I guess. Not really with the whole satanic panic thing, but because some fans of D&D were very weird people. Because in the 70s, people were arguing if women could be wizards, because not for the reason that you'd imagine, but because wizards have to have beards. And I want to ask, do wizards have to have beards?
I mean, not all wizards.
Okay, I'm just wondering. Like, I mean, they could be a woman, but still just have a beard, and that's just what makes them a wizard.
I mean,
But my
there
question
are some
is,
people
do
with
they have
beards
to have
that aren't
beards?
wizards.
Well, yeah, but if you were a wizard, you had to have a beard. Do you think so?
I don't think so. No, I think
I
you
don't
can
think
be
so.
a wizard and not have a beard.
I don't necessarily think so, but I think it can help.
Well, I mean, there are some like species that can't grow beard.
Like what? Like you?
Crystal people.
What crystal people are beards? Are wizards?
Oh, you see my point?
Which crystal people are wizards?
You don't know about the wizard crystal people?
I don't know.
You haven't read up on your magic war lore, bro.
No, because I didn't get drafted.
Josh, did you get drafted to the wizard
He
war?
did. That's why we didn't hear from him for like 8 months when he was.
Oh, that's
like,
right.
He got on that bus.
Yeah, it was a whole deal.
Well, I don't know,
That's
dude.
right.
Listen, I think, like, okay, I'm not saying, like, you can be a wizard without a beard. I'm just saying that the beard helps, you know? It's the same way, like, having
think
gray hair also helps. Like, long gray
Do you
hair.
think it's like a spell focus?
Yeah, kind of. I think there's, like, a certain amount of, like, enchantment bonus you get from it. Like, you know, it's like, it also makes you, like, immediately identifiable as a wizard, you know?
Okay.
But,
So I have
okay.
a question,
Yeah,
following
what?
up that question. So, let's say there's another Wizard War 2, Magic
Yeah.
War 2.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm following.
Okay. You have to choose one school of magic that you have to specialize in, but you can only rely on that one school of magic. Which one are you choosing and why?
Conjuration.
My first. That's what I was thinking too. Conjuring up people to fight for you and things like that,
Or-
using teleportation.
I would say either that or necromancy, because think of all the other dead people who are going to be on the battlefield. You're going to be able to conjure all of them back up.
But what if there's more power? Well, look at the last Magic War. There was like one of the main guys was like the most powerful necromancer in all the lands.
Well, that's why just keep a gun if you come across him.
All right. Josh, what about you?
I'm gonna be honest, I tuned out. I don't know what's going on.
Like Toontown?
No,
After you said schools of magic, I spaced out. because I
He
don't know what
tuned
we're
out.
talking
He
about
tuned
anymore.
out, guys. He
Dude,
tuned
his,
out.
his PTSD came
He
to him.
tuned out, guys. He tuned out,
Yeah.
guys. This
He
guy,
tuned out.
because that's like the when you that's like the yeah dude the yeah so man so you yeah, man it's like the is it when it's like the man the game.
I should play
Whoa.
Toontown again. I should get back into that. I haven't
Oh,
in a
should
while.
you?
But
Remember when that was like
yeah,
your
I
one
think
joy in life was Toontown?
yeah, it's still really fun. I do want to get back into it. I'm not as like obsessed with getting back into it as I used to be, mostly because the main reason that I went so hard into it was because I enjoyed it, but also because I wanted to get through it before they did like any sort of updates to the main task line.
Yeah. Well, that's
Given
not
the
gonna happen
stuff
for
that's
another million
happened,
years.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Given what's happened recently, I don't think I have to worry about that for a while.
Yeah. So yeah, um,
Yeah.
that's that. But I wanted to continue my wizard question because I want to know, guys, why do wizards not wear armor? I need a reason.
Uh-huh.
I, hmm, I guess there has to be some
They
sort
don't
of
have proficiency in it.
But it's not a video game, dude. You need
I was
proficiency
gonna
to wear
say
armor.
say
Yeah.
it's more related to like the weight of it that could get in the way of like certain spells that require like physical casting. But like
Oh,
you
that's true.
you could be a buff wizard
Well,
and still not have to worry
and
about that.
I
So I
mean,
don't really
armor doesn't
know.
have to be that heavy.
That's true. That's true
Okay.
with lighter
I,
armor.
I would say with Josh's reasoning, I could imagine having to do like a whole like ritual type thing where you're moving your arms in a certain way and having to use your fingers in certain ways. Like
You
a
can still
full
do that
set
with
of
armor,
like
though.
plate armor. You cannot do that in plate armor.
Yes, you can. Do you know? You are stupid. You don't understand history at all. Never speak to me again. You listen, dude. Plate
Like I'm
armor
talking
was
about like a
there
full
was
knight suit, bro.
yes, there was actually like very impressive dexterity in that. What do you mean? Have you have never been to a class on this?
Okay. Well, have you worn it?
No, but I've taken classes in this where I saw a
I'm an
demonstrator wear
expert.
that.
I'm an expert.
And
I'm
in
an
fact,
expert.
the finger
I took
dexterity was
classes.
excellent in
I
that.
took
And
classes.
I am going to give you a second circumcision.
I'm actually curious to hear more about this. Do you have any particular reason why you think wizards don't wear armor tees? Because I'm a bit out of my depth on this.
I think it's because fantasy writers are stupid and they don't actually study most of the time. They just like read tropes and just kind of regurgitate them into their own garbage writing.
Intriguing.
Well, they don't need to put on armor because they could just summon magic armor, bro.
Okay, so why
I mean,
don't they
there's
do
still
that? Because you don't
Well,
really
they
see
do
that
do
happen.
that. What do you?
Okay, give me some examples of when that happens.
The Magic War.
Give me some real examples of like literature that has utilized that idea.
Dungeon Dragons with the term mage armor.
I guess, but that's a little bit different, and it's actually not really that great.
Um,
You know, I can
Marvel.
Marvel. Your example is Marvel.
Yeah, there's a wizard that summons armor in Marvel.
Okay,
In
Marvel is not what I think about when it comes to great fantasy works. That's like if I asked you what your favorite like sci-fi like novel was, and you said Mega Man X.
I mean, that's pretty good.
It is pretty good, but it's not what I'm asking for. Dude, oh my god, you should never be allowed to write a single word again, actually. This is why I don't let you write anything ever. I think you should actually not be allowed to read or write. You should be a farmhand, dude.
So, what kind of armor makes the most sense for a wizard then? Like, is there a particular type that you
Magic
think?
armor.
Well, like
Why does
if
it have
like
to
a
be magic
physical
armor?
Because
what
they're
physical
magic, bro.
armor?
They could just summon it.
Well, what if they're
Okay, well,
sleeping?
or they could just wear it so they don't have to summon that.
Well, then what if they have to piss?
Same as if anyone else has to piss. You just undo that. In fact, there's not going to be a lot of armor there. You just kind of undo the little like thing there. There's like a protective area, but it's like very easy to undo those straps. I've seen it. I know plate armor better than you do, buddy.
It's
God,
called
I
dark
hate
humor,
liberals.
liberal.
We both went to the same conclusion. Listen, dude, you don't get it. You don't get it. You don't read medieval literature.
I am actually really fascinated by this. I'm curious. I don't know. It is actually a really good point to bring up why wizards don't ever wear armor, because it makes sense that
Actually, they wouldn't have to remove the armor to piss because they could get rid of the piss with magic. Okay.
You are literally the laziest writer of all time. You just say everything can just be done with magic. Oh my god.
Yeah,
You're basically
dude,
this is
magic's
basically
awesome.
okay, your idea of a fantasy work is it's just Star Wars, but instead of science it's I almost said autism.
There's already Star Wars.
Instead of science, it's autism, dude. That's your idea of fantasy. Oh my god. To you, fantasy is just sci-fi, except it's magic instead of science.
Also, you said Star Wars. I was
Yeah,
like,
what?
when do they do that in Star Wars? Where
It's called
use
making an example, you loser.
You're a loser.
I actually
I'm
write
gonna
and
magic
read.
you away, bro.
I actually read.
Honestly, it would be kind of cool if there was a wizard that was just like decked out in full plate armor. That would be pretty nifty.
Well, I'm saying is that probably makes the most sense, because, like, you'd imagine that, like, typically wizards are not the most, they're not necessarily the strongest members of their unit, usually, so you would imagine they would actually be very heavily armored. They would basically be a walking tank. Because they would be the people who would, you'd expect them to, be just launching these magical, like, missile-type things, and, obviously, dude, imagine archers are gonna target them. You know? Dude, I had, like, other things to talk about, and I got so mad. I'm so mad about how actually horrendous you are at all things fantasy. You don't read books. You don't read. You never read. Oh my god. You don't know how to read. Guys, I have an important question.
Summon a tank.
I have an important question. I have an important question. Would you rather have toes for fingers or no jaw?
What?
Would you rather have toes for fingers or no jaw?
I mean, if you don't have a jaw, then you would just have to have, like, everything in liquid form.
Okay, so it's either that or toes for fingers.
Are they all the same type of toe, or is it like your thumb is like your big toe?
Yeah, it's like the array of the toes on your feet. And also, if you want, you can also have fingers for toes, but you don't have to. That's an optional thing.
Ooh,
If you just want to
for
fill it
toes.
out and make it more even, you know.
No, I want fingers for toes.
No, you have to have toes for fingers as well.
No, I want fingers for toes, and that's
no,
it, bro.
you can't. That's not a choice. You can have toes for fingers, or you can have toes for fingers as well as fingers for toes, or you can have no jaw. Those are your choices.
Or you can have unlimited bacon. No game.
You can't. You can't, because bacon doesn't exist anymore.
What do you wait? What do you mean it doesn't exist
It
anymore?
doesn't exist. It's not real.
I'm gonna go with toes for fingers.
I'm also gonna go with toes for fingers, but I'm also gonna go with fingers for toes.
I feel like toes for fingers is like the easiest thing to sort of like
Or if you want, you could have all of them.
get around.
Well, I would
What do you mean,
have
what?
I would have no jaw, so I couldn't talk to your dumbass anymore.
But you would still have to hear all my bullshit, though.
No, because I would just stop talking to you forever.
You
I
could
would be
just
like,
do
well,
that anyways.
well, no, because then I have an now I don't. Right now, I don't have an excuse. But if I had no jaw, then I would have an excuse. Now I'd be like, well, guess I
You're
can't do
gonna
this anymore.
you're gonna get into a life-changing accident, and then you're like, it's gonna be something very fatal. But it's like, oh, it's gonna be like, oh, your stomach, and then you're gonna look over to your doctor and be like, hey, could you do me a favor and get rid of the jaw? I need an excuse to get rid of it.
No, I wouldn't. Why would I say that?
So you wouldn't have to talk to me anymore.
What? You're making things up. Dude, so you would have are you telling me that you would have your actually like disgusting, smelly like toes as your fingers?
Well, they're smelly because they're like so far on the ground, bro.
Probably
I would-
because they're just gross.
I would probably just like clean them.
You probably got
Yeah.
you probably got hairy toes, bro.
No,
You probably got hairy toes. That's all I'm saying.
no,
Dude,
I don't. Got...
What?
What?
What? Who was that? Dude, okay, listen, man, what was I
Are
okay.
you tweaking out?
It's because I've been so you have said so many dumb things today. You've said the worst things I've ever heard you say. Normally when you say dumb things I can tolerate it, but when you start saying dumb things about medieval literature, I want to punch you in real life. So anyway,
Okay, well, I'll just magic the punch away.
imagine guys, imagine natural disaster survival but in real life.
Whoa.
You know the Roblox game?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
But
well,
it's just
imagine
like
you
that-
you turn on the Wii Weather Channel one day, and they're like, dude, there's a fucking tsunami. And
Well,
you're
no,
at like the gas
he
station.
wouldn't go like that. He would go like, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Why would he say that?
Because that's how all the weather sounds in Roblox, or the news rather.
What? Since when?
Do you not know the like in old Roblox?
No,
there was, like,
no. In old Roblox, it was a sliding. It was like GIF.
yeah.
It wasn't. There weren't any sounds from it. When I grew up, you didn't get to turn on your own sound effects, buddy.
Well, I remember it being. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's probably because you're new.
I'm not new.
You are new.
I'm not a noob.
You're new. You're new,
I'm not.
buddy.
I'm not.
You
a
started.
noob.
You literally didn't play it until like 2019.
Yeah, that's true. Look at my account.
Actually, yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. I couldn't imagine going back to it to enjoy it. I feel like that would be, yeah, a bad decision. I don't know, dude. It's like, okay, dude, if you had to live in like one of those classic Roblox games, which one would it be?
I'm trying to think.
And why does it not work at a pizza place?
Ooh. Well, I think I would. What was that one game that we played that was like the town simulator?
Well, that's not a classic one, but I guess I'll let it count. Like the ultimate like sandbox one. That was
Yeah,
like
yeah,
GTA.
yeah. Yeah, that one.
Yeah, you could.
That-
Yeah,
I
you
feel
could
like
do that
that's
one.
as close as we can to get to real life in terms of old Roblox games.
That's true. That's true. Also, imagine it's like you're not limited to the confines of the game. It's just like just elements of that game become like real life. So you don't have to like be in like hell forever, where you're on like a small like little like brick building. There's like more stuff for you to do. Because I feel like you'd actually probably want to die if that happened.
Okay.
Okay, so
Um,
that's your choice.
Yeah, that's my choice. But I'm just like thinking, was there any like classic like wizard games? I'm trying to remember.
There were, but they were all like PvP games.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that's what would happen the second like two people got magic is that they would try to immediately kill each other.
Or technically, I guess there were a lot of role plays like that. So
Yeah, that's true. If there was like a wizard roleplay, I'd probably want to do that just to
that's
like
true.
do cool
Except
magic and
is that like
stuff.
a lazy answer? Because like then you could just be like,
I guess.
I would be in real life role play.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was saying. Like, well, imagine like you get to your job and you're like, there's everyone's working, and you go into the back, and then there's just like a giant like plate with like a symbol on it, and you step on it, and suddenly you get the role of whatever job you want.
Yeah, dude. Imagine you sit in your boss's chair one day and you become the manager.
You spend like 50, not $50, like 50, like $5 to like get the game pass to instantly teleport to your boss's chair once he's like leaves the game.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. Josh, what about you? You haven't spoken in like 30 minutes.
Yeah, it's been a while. I don't know. I was kind of just letting you guys do your thing. I'd probably pick work at a pizza place though. Like it's the simplest answer, but I think it works well because like you have food, you have your own
That's true.
place, you have a way to make money. Like things could be worse.
That's true, dude. Imagine like it was like the fuck so let's say you were also a bear and your name was Barry.
Uh-huh.
All right. Okay.
That would be pretty cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that would be awesome.
But no one knew that you were a bear.
Right, of course. It would just be like that's who you are.
Wait, but how would they not notice that you're a bear, not a bear, rather?
I don't know. It's just they can't tell. You're just really
Okay.
They just think that they just can't tell. They don't. You just are good at blending in, I guess. It's not like it's a big secret. They just don't know, I guess. They can't tell, and you don't really bother to tell them because like who really cares?
Okay.
You know.
And then what did they say?
You're like, wow, Barry, I can't believe that you won the annual fishing competition again using only your hands. And you don't say anything because you're a bear.
Because you're a bear.
And you don't talk because you're a bear. And that's the whole deal. That would be awesome, wouldn't it?
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah. So you would choose that, right? You would be the bear?
I mean, it doesn't sound that
I'm going to
bad.
take that as a yes.
What would you do, Teeks?
I would be the bear's coworker.
Okay.
Because the bear also happens to be real still, even if I'm not the bear.
Even if you're not the bear?
Yeah. Yeah, what?
What if you were a horse, though?
Honest, dude, deal. Dude. Okay. Okay, that's a bar. Now, if I've heard a bargain. You know what? I'm sold, buddy.
Me, the wizard trying to convince me at the wizard shop, bro. What if you were a horse, though? You're a deal, you son of a bitch. I'm in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'd do that. Yeah, for sure, man. Like, why not? Did they know that I'm a horse?
Glad to hear we're on the same page.
Does everyone know that I'm a horse, or am I just a horse and like they can't tell?
They don't
What
know
if-
you're a horse unless you like go horse. Like if you are a horse in like a
If you
horse
go-
race, then everyone will find out.
What if
But
they're
as
just
long as you
really
don't do
impressed?
that-
What if they're just really
So-
impressed that their coworker won the horse race? It's like, wow, you're so fast. I didn't know a person could outrun a horse like that. And then I don't talk because I'm a horse.
One situation that you're like, oh yeah, they might figure out you're a horse is if at a pizza place you enter a horse race.
Yeah.
It's like, what? How often was that come up where you're at risk of getting caught?
I mean, like you are.
Oh,
a horse in this scenario.
it's time for our 5th monthly horse race.
Yeah, it's very popular in the area.
Yeah.
They really like
And
horses.
also,
around
like,
here.
why are you entering the horse race if
Because
you
you're
know
really
you're a
fast.
horse and you got
Because you're a horse. You know, that's what horses do. They enter
Yeah,
a
but your
horse
coworkers
race.
can't tell you're a horse. They just think that they let you in because you're really talented. You know?
Yeah.
You
Now,
know?
now, of course, if you do win the horse race, then your boss will just like get suspicious of you, and so he might like start putting like hay and apples around you to like try and see. But like for the most part, nobody even suspects that you're a horse. But after the race, your boss is gonna get a little suspicious, but like he can't prove it, and like HR is starting to get pretty annoyed by it. So like that's when HR swoops in, and then your boss loses his job, and you go sit in the chair, and now the horse is the boss.
Yeah, I just imagine in the lunchroom you just walk in, you open the fridge and there's just a whole hay bale, like a bunch of apples and shit in there. It's like, oh, I wonder who left those. Those look really good, don't they? So like you just start sweating. You can't say anything because you're a horse.
Dude,
Yeah.
your boss opens the fridge and it's one of those like feed bags.
Yeah. That's exactly it. Man.
I'm just losing my mind over the scenario of you're a horse that works at a pizza place. By the way,
Why is this less impact? Well, or rather, why does this make less sense than a bear working at a pizza
Well, no,
place?
it was the specification that you can only get found out if you enter a horse race.
Well, you don't get found
Yes,
out.
well-
Your boss gets a little
You get-
suspicious if you win.
Okay, originally it was you get found out, but now the rule is you don't get found out, but your boss gets suspicious.
Like, wait. I don't think you're supposed to move that fast.
Now the real question is, if you were the bear, would you vote on the horse in this horse race, or would you vote on one of the other horses? Now, do keep in mind, you don't know that the horse is a horse, but you are a
Wait,
bear.
the bear doesn't know that the horse is a horse?
Well, no,
No.
because it's a horse. He doesn't know horses that well.
What
he
if
only knows bears.
does the horse know if the bear is a bear?
No.
No.
Okay, so this is just a very silly scenario where there's two different animals working at a pizza place, and neither of them know that the other is an animal.
Well, yeah,
Yes.
but there's also a
But the
polar bear that works
question-
there, and the bear and the polar bear know that the others are bears, but they don't know
Yeah.
that the horse is a horse, and the horse doesn't know that the two bears are bears.
Right.
Okay,
So
what does the
question
polar bear
is,
do?
He
Works at a pizza place.
Yeah.
But like, what specifically is he like the manager?
No, he's like he deals
Is
with
he a
like
delivery
inventory.
driver?
He deals with the
Oh,
inventory.
inventory.
Is the
That
horse
makes
the
sense.
delivery driver?
Yeah, but the weird thing is they've never seen him drive a car. They see him running into the parking lot.
I just love the visual of like some minimum wage
I
worker
mean,
like putting a pizza box on the horse's back and being like, "All right, Harry, this is for this address. Here you go," and just the horse bites. And he's like, "Okay, now go drive over there." And like the horse very slowly backs up, waits until the coworker gets out of view, and then sprints down the street as fast as he can to
Well,
make
yeah.
sure
Well, I
that he
mean, like,
doesn't see.
as long as he gets it in there in less than 30 minutes, then there's no problem.
Yeah, no one's gonna be mad. They're not gonna question him because
Yeah.
he always
As long as they
gets
get
it
their
there on
pizza.
time. It's always warm and
Yeah.
fresh. So yeah.
So has there been any incidents with the horse delivering the pizzas?
Why would there be incidents?
No, I'm just saying. Let's say the horse gets into horse traffic.
Oh right, because this town they do really like horses around here, judging by all the horse races. So it only makes sense that there's also lots of people who ride on horses.
Yeah, does he get into horse traffic? Has there been an incident where he's stuck in horse traffic and he's like 5 minutes late?
No, he always gets it there on time.
Yeah.
He has his ways.
Yeah. He's good at his job. He knows what he's doing.
But my question was, if you're the bear, not the polar bear, just the like grizzly bear. If
The
you're
Barry?
the bear, if you're Barry and you're watching the horse race, do you vote for your coworker or do you vote for one of the like horses that are just like regular?
He would probably
horses
vote on the
participating in
horses
the
because,
race?
like, on one hand, you want to support your coworker, but on the other hand, you think he's just like a guy, and it's like there's no way he's gonna beat all these
Yeah.
horses.
I was
right?
gonna say, if this is the very first time,
The
and
very
I see my
first
coworker,
time.
the
The
very
very first time. Yeah.
yeah. If this is the very first time, and I see my coworker entering a race with horses, and I just go, my coworker's not gonna beat these horses. And then after the first race, my coworker wins it by like a landslide. After that, I'm gonna be like, oh, I'm voting for my coworker every single time now because he's gonna beat these horses in race any day of the week.
Dude, I don't know
Yeah, that
why.
makes
I
sense.
imagine you saying that as like the cereal guy. It's like he will never win this horse race.
Wins horse race, spits out cereal.
And of course, in this scenario, you are still a bear.
Oh yeah, of course.
So useful to keep that in mind.
Can I just be
Of
like
course.
a guy that works at the pizza place and unaware of any of these shenanigans going on?
Yeah, to you these are just your coworkers. Like they just don't
Yeah,
talk
I
very
can-
much.
They're just your coworkers.
Oh, and can I also be a raccoon, but everyone knows I'm a raccoon?
Yeah.
But
yeah.
like, I don't think they know I'm a raccoon.
But
Yeah,
so
yeah.
what is your job then if you're a raccoon?
Trash man.
Wow.
Okay, that's fair.
Wait, why would the pizza place has their own trash man?
Yeah,
That's all
it's
he
me.
does?
I'm
That's all he does
Yeah.
is the trash. They have that
Yeah.
much trash there. It must be a pretty important pizza place if they generate that much trash.
dude. Dude, it is one of the most popular in town. They have the guy that wins every horse race there.
Wait, it's one of the most popular in town, so it's. I think they're gonna be like, yeah, it's one of the biggest pizza places in the world. That's why they generate so much trash. They need their own trash guy, right? Is like
Yeah.
they have something. It's so big they have to have people like to handle all that. No, it's like one of the biggest in town. This town of like 2,000 people.
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
still, they generate enough trash where I'm there as a raccoon cleaning up the trash.
Well, it's weird because before they hired the raccoon, they didn't generate that much trash. They don't know how all this
Yeah.
trash keeps getting in the store.
I just go around to like other places and I just pick up trash, put it in the trash can. I'm like, wow, guys, you got a lot of trash. It's a good thing I'm here.
Except you don't say that because you're a raccoon.
I go,
Yeah, but to you,
Yeah.
that's what they hear.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But to me, I go like, oh, time for trash in a New York accent.
Yeah.
Of
Guys,
course.
I have a question. Which
Yeah.
which video game console had the best cases, like game cases?
Ooh.
And it
I
could be
think
like any console, like the N64 had their
uh,
like cardboard ones. It doesn't have to be a plastic one though. It could be.
I'm torn between the GameCube and the Wii.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say the same thing. I probably go with Wii. I think.
Actually, that's a lie. I'm gonna go with DS because they had little manuals in there.
Well, I was gonna say the
Oh,
GameCube
that's
because
fair.
I thought the GameCube had probably the best manuals. They were thick manuals in the GameCube.
That's
Like-
true.
That's true.
I'm like, because I'm thinking of like the tiny DS manuals. I
Yeah, the
forgot about
DS
the
and the
thick
Wii both had really good
GameCube.
manuals as well, but I just remember the GameCube ones that for me are like my favorite. Oh no.
That's fair.
I do miss manuals being a thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, me
nah,
too.
dude. Like the Nintendo Switch box. What are they? What'd you call them again? Sorry, my brain is being weird.
Game
Cases.
case.
Game case, yeah. The Nintendo Switch cases are so sad if
Yeah,
you've
they're
ever
garbage.
seen them before. It is like a tiny, tiny square with the game in it, and there's nothing else inside.
And the spine is you can't discern them between each other because like if you
Yeah.
just have them lined up on the shelf like a normal person, you can't identify them. You don't
Yeah,
know
they're
what
just
you're
all
looking at
red
until
with
you read
tiny white
the little text. Yeah. Oh
Right,
my
yeah.
god. And it's like all of that. Like, why didn't they just make it the size of like a DS or 3DS case? Did they just
I don't know.
feel too superior for that? They didn't want people to think it was another mobile like console,
I
or a portable
guess.
I
console.
guess so.
Because it's like it's just so much of a waste of plastic that you're not doing anything with. I wouldn't be that mad if they like put a manual in there, because they could absolutely use manuals, and that would be
Yeah.
a cool like thing that would be, I guess, encouraging people to buy physical copies. Though I guess Nintendo seemingly doesn't want to encourage people to do that anymore. So
Yeah, I don't know.
but yeah, I understand the DS, but I still say GameCube. I think. Um, yeah, dude. What if
Mhm.
what if you could duel people, and if you win, you get all of their stuff and their money,
Like all their stuff.
like their house and stuff too.
Okay,
Oh,
but
wow.
what type of duel are we talking? Are we talking Western style duel?
It's
Are we talking about old English style duel?
it's either with swords,
Hmm.
or you can do a Western one, but only if you live in like Nevada.
Only Nevada.
Only if you live in like the Wild West area.
Okay, that makes sense.
What does Texas count?
Yeah, I would say that counts. That counts. But well, it depends.
Okay.
If you live in the desert, then it counts. But not if you're like in a big city.
Yeah.
So like people who live in like Austin can't
Yeah, no,
declare
Austin is way
Wild
too
West duel.
urban. That's not like you're not in the desert, man. You gotta do fencing.
What if you live on a beach town? Can you declare a pirate duel?
Only if you have a pirate ship.
Okay.
Or I guess if you want to do like a sword duel, you can if you have like a pirate cosplay and like the fuck, what are they called? The scimitars, you know?
I was gonna say cutlass.
Oh, or yeah, sorry, cutlass. If you have a cutlass, then yeah, that's what you can do that.
All right.
So yeah,
I'm trying to
who
think
who would
of
be the
what-
first guy you challenge then? And which kind of duel would you do?
Markiplier.
Markiplier. Well, what kind of duel would you challenge him to?
I would challenge him to good old fisticuffs.
Oh, really? Yeah,
Yeah.
but it
I
has to
would
be it has to
lose.
be like the 1930s like style boxing.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
you're both barefisted and you're like shirtless.
Yeah. Exactly.
But you're like wearing like full pants. Yeah, you're like that. And you both have to have like a mustache.
Yeah. And we have to like it's not like where you have your fist ups in the normal way. It's like where you have it up like in front of you with like your arms curled and doing like the little
well, yeah, but Markiplier, he's gonna wind his fist up like 10 times and then smack you.
Yeah, no, he's gonna blow into his thumb and his fist is gonna grow like 5 times in size.
Yeah. But also if you lose, he gets all of your stuff.
Well, then I would be known as the guy who Markiplier has all my stuff.
Yeah. You're
So
gonna
I have
lose
a
all your
question.
stuff.
Can you deny a duel? Like, do you have to do it?
You can, but it's like kind of wimpy if you do that. People are gonna think you're like kind of a loser. Because like, why would you deny a duel? What, are you scared you're gonna lose?
Yes.
No, I guess you're just a little scaredy
Yeah,
cat
that's
then.
fair.
Why are you scared, dude?
Yeah.
Maybe you should just be better and just win.
I just don't want to lose my whole livelihood.
Then people are gonna people. You're not gonna lose anything, but people might laugh at you a little bit. People might joke about you being the guy who always denies every duel, and you never get into a single awesome duel in your life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and meanwhile, people are getting into like full on sword dancing.
Yeah,
Sword dancing?
sword sword fencing. Well, most of the by
Yeah,
the way,
sword
most of the
fencing
time,
duel.
well, either these duels can be to the death. By the way, like
You can
surrender.
kill someone?
You can surrender then they'll have to spare you. But if you don't and it's to the death, then like yeah, you'll just die, and they'll get all your stuff
Wait,
too.
are these two an audience of someone?
Anyone who wants to see it.
But let's say it's like a private duel.
Okay.
Like but like let's say like someone claims that like, oh yeah, this guy, he was like, oh yeah, kill me because I'm not going to surrender. But
Mhm.
like we don't know for sure if that guy said I like didn't say I surrender. What do you do then?
Well, like, what do you mean? Like how
No,
do you not know if he
the guy who
surrendered?
yeah, so the guy who won, like they have a
Uh-huh.
private duel. The guy who won comes
Oh, yeah.
out saying like, oh yeah, it comes out the guy who won kills the guy who loses, but he
Uh-huh.
goes, oh yeah, the guy who lost didn't want to surrender, so I had to kill him.
Well, then why
But
did you
like
do
we
it
don't know.
in private? You stupid head. You should have done it
Yeah,
in public.
exactly.
Well,
Yeah,
I'm saying
well,
you can do it in private. It's just dumb if you do so. You both
yeah.
you have to come to like an agreement of where you're gonna fight.
But does that count as murder then?
No,
Because we
because
don't know if
was
he's
well, it was in the duel. If he can't prove it was murder, then it's like whatever. If he didn't want to get murdered, then he probably should have just done it in public.
okay. Okay.
So
But what
that's
if
on
he
you,
wasn't
buddy.
the one that? Okay, but let's say it's a private duel, but the guy who got killed wasn't the one who declared the duel. He was the one who accepted the duel.
Well, why would you accept then? You should have made him go on other terms. Should have been like, no, I will not fight you unless we do it in the public square where all can see our glory. Because if you're doing it in private, that's gonna make you sound like a wimp. Because like, what are you scared people are gonna like judge you on like your form?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm saying you can do it in private, but it's really dumb. So just do it in public.
Okay. Okay. What type of duel would you do?
Me, I would do a like, fuck, man. I didn't think about this. I would do like a fucking we both have nuclear bombs and we throw them at each other.
Okay.
Yeah,
How far away are both of you?
we're like 5 feet from each other.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Whichever skeleton doesn't turn to dust.
Well, you can't really prove that, but the thing is that and also I will only accept the duel if it's right in front of Franco's house.
Dude, that's a great way to ensure. I will only accept this duel if this person is in attendance.
Yeah. Yeah, that's those
That's
are my
a
terms.
great way of like being like of just being like, oh yeah, this guy's also getting like killed during this fight.
Yeah. But like that's not wimp because that's like the most awesome, that's the most destructive, like powerful duel of all time. You're using literally
So
like nukes.
question. Let's say you survive a duel, but you like kill someone either intentionally or unintentionally who wasn't involved in the duel during
Oh,
the
then like how you're dumb if you accidentally killed someone else. Then that means you get sent to the county jail.
Yeah, you get put in the stocks and tomatoes get thrown at you.
Yeah, and then you get sent to prison, and then you gotta like play harmonica, and you got the big. You are you gonna wear like orange, or are you gonna wear the stripes when you're in prison
I'm
too?
gonna wear the stripes,
You're
bro.
gonna wear the stripes, and you're gonna have like a chain.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a big ball and chain, and I'm gonna have like a black beanie and one of those like robbers masks.
Yeah, and then you're gonna, dude, and you're gonna be in your jail cell, and then like there's like the sleeping guard who's sitting on his chair, and you're gonna like reach your
I'm
hand
gonna reach
to
you the bars and grab the keys, and then as
Yeah.
I get out, I'm gonna do the how to make sure I don't wake him up.
Yeah, that's what you'll
And
do.
then I'm gonna get out. I'm gonna have a big sack over my back, and that has a giant dollar symbol on it.
I want to ask you guys a question that I know you're all gonna be able to answer because you probably have ideas for this. If you had to move to another country, where would you go?
I've always
Good question.
I've had two options. The first one is Canada, just because I think that there are some pretty cool places in Canada.
That makes sense.
Uh-huh.
And then the second one, it's a weird one. I think Iceland, honestly.
Okay, that makes sense.
It looks, from what I've seen, it's a very beautiful country, and it doesn't look like there's a lot of like people there. It just looks like
People
a lot of
are
tourism,
also
though.
like really depressed there
Yeah, that's true.
because it's dark all
Because
the
like
time.
there's nothing going on there.
It's dark all the time too.
Yeah, I feel
Yeah.
like I feel like I would enjoy that, but at the same time, I feel like that's just me talking right now. And like, if I was like living there for years and
Yeah,
had to experience that for years, then I feel like the charm would probably wear off.
yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know, cause like it's hard because um I know I would probably do the lazy thing and move to Canada just because it's like very easy from where I currently reside.
Yeah, that's
Just
true.
as an American, like gonna be able to speak the same language and do all of this other stuff. But yeah, I don't know, because I wouldn't want to move to like the UK. Gonna be real, I think it's a
Nah.
really bad idea. So
What
yeah,
about you,
probably that.
Josh?
I was actually talking about something similar with Daisy the other night. So this is a good time to bring it up. Interestingly enough, I have not thought about Canada till right now, but yeah, Canada would be a good option. I don't know why I didn't.
You know
think
what
about it,
I
'cause
would
it's like the
do?
most obvious option. What's up?
I would move to California, and then I would just get a big saw and saw it off of America, so it's its own country. And so I moved to a different
Alright
country.
then. I've also thought about just Europe. I don't know too much about the UK, but like there's at least still English kinda.
That's true.
Let me think. What else? I've thought about places like Denmark, Switzerland, the Netherlands, just because they
Switzerland is a
seem like
good
really
place.
nice. They seem like nice places to be. I would have to like learn languages and such, but those still seem
Switzerland
like
is
nice
a nice
places to be.
place.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Switzerland's also a good answer.
Switzerland. I think I think I've also thought like Finland also seems really nice, partially
Oh
because
yeah.
in countries like that, like I think they try to make everyone's lives like super utopian because everyone's depressed because it's always nighttime over there. So it's always dark and cold. You don't get nice summers. So
Yeah.
yeah, probably something like that. Dude, I don't remember. I don't know if it's the same in Finland. I think they do this in, I want to say Norway. Don't they like, I'm pretty sure you technically get paid like to cover your expenses if you attend college.
I
Uh,
think so. I'm
There are
not
Like to
some
sure.
cover your
countries
living
like that.
conditions.
There are some countries that do stuff like that. Yeah,
I
I'm
couldn't
not
remember. I
sure.
don't remember if Finland does that, but I know there are countries around there that do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. I don't know. I actually have always thought that Finland does look like a really nice place. The only thing is that that is literally one of the most difficult languages to learn as an English speaker, or really
Yeah.
just in general, because their language is so different from pretty much almost any other country's language. Just like, I don't know, man. It's just it doesn't have the same ties to anything that other languages do. So yeah,
Hmm.
Yeah.
but if you could like magically learn the language, that would probably be my choice.
Yeah. That would be a
Yeah.
great place to live.
I'm gonna be honest though. Okay, I feel like a lot of people for that question, I feel like they would say like Japan or something. But to be honest, I would not want to live in Japan. I think
Yeah.
it would be
I
a really
was.
great place to visit, but I feel like they have
Yeah.
a lot of like concerns in the country that I don't really want to deal with living there. I feel like just the work culture to me doesn't seem like something I'd want to deal with. And I mean,
Oh yeah, the work culture is extremely unhealthy in
yeah, because
Japan.
like I get it, I'm not an expert. I am not from there. I'm not really suited to make a whole lot of judgment on that kind of thing. However, from what I do know, it's just I'm gonna deal with it. It's bad enough where I live, man. So yeah,
Yeah, that's fair. When I was like middle school, early high school, I was like, "Oh, it'd be cool to live in Japan." But as years
there,
have gone on, I'm like, "No, I'd want to visit definitely,
yeah.
but I don't want to live
Yeah.
And I mean, there are probably there are definitely a lot of good things about living there. I don't want to say it
Yeah.
would necessarily be like worse than living in America, but like it's just there are certain things that I'm not sure I would be suited to deal with. That
It's
Yeah.
it's
and you
maybe
know,
a thing where like I'd only live there if it was like for a smaller period instead
yeah,
of like a
Yeah.
more permanent residence."
yeah, right. Or like if you were like self-employed or something, I feel like it would be a lot easier, um,
Yeah.
in certain regards. So yeah, man, yeah, um,
Yeah.
yeah, dude, my my power went out last night, and it was really scary
Oh
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
because it was pitch dark in my entire house because it was like 10 p.m. So yeah,
Oh wow.
and it was really hot because I couldn't turn my fan on. So yeah, dude. Um,
Wow.
yeah, what would you do if the solar flare hit the Earth and the internet went out?
Wasn't it supposed to happen like last summer, or was?
It was supposed to happen like every day for the past like million years or whatever all the news articles are saying, dude.
Yeah.
I don't think there's no
I
time where it's
remember when.
supposed to happen. It's just that they keep hyping it up for no reason. You know, it's probably
Yeah.
not going to happen. There is a chance of something like that happening, but it's probably not going to happen, at least not for a long time.
And I remember like when it was like a big issue, and everyone was like, "Oh, it's gonna, all the internet's gonna go down." Like, it like NASA was like, "Yeah, we have systems in place to make sure this stuff doesn't happen."
Yeah. But what would you do if that
But
did
I,
happen?
I mean, I've talked to you about it. I'd
You would become
become
a
like,
lowly page?
yeah, I'd become a lowly page, bro.
Yeah. That's awesome. I would become a
I'd become.
highwayman.
Oh yeah. What would you do, Josh?
I really don't know. I haven't thought about this particular situation very much.
I think you would become a tanner.
I don't know what
Like
that
he
is.
would tan hide?
Yeah. You don't know what... You don't read medieval literature, dude.
I do not.
No! Dude! Okay, you know what I would be?
What?
Dude, I would be...